I'm Ellie and welcome back to my channel. For this week's meals, we're gonna go to the 99-cent only store and try to get our main ingredients. A lot of people don't know that you can get fresh produce there as well, so let's hop over and see what we can get.
Okay, so what did I manage to get? One large bag of onions was only $2. 2 pounds of avocados, guys, $2.50. That's amazing. 2 pounds of cherry tomatoes, $3. These peppers were 59 cents. I grabbed one watermelon because it was $2. I'm obviously not going to use it for cooking, but we're going to have it for snacks. I just wanted to show you all the things that you can get there. A bag of Idaho potatoes was $2. These carrots are from Smart & Final because they're cheaper there and they're 79 cents. The cauliflower was from the 99-cent store. It was $2. I swear, watermelon, radish, and beets were also $1. And the garlic was labeled as 99 cents, but apparently it wasn't. It was $2. And when I showed him the video, he just gave it to me for $1. So that was a bargain. And I'm using rice that I already had. I also found some reduced pork in Smart & Final that I've cleaned and chopped, and I'm gonna use half for these recipes and half I put in the freezer for next time.
And here am I, ready to start making our first meal for this week. I'm starting with the crock pot because it takes the least amount of prep and it cooks for a very long time, so I can use these hours in between to either make my other meals, or you can put it in your slow cooker at night and have your meal ready in the morning. I'm using the bone that was left from that pork chunk that we saw because it's gonna release a lot of flavors and season our potatoes to, let's call it a stew. And other things that I'm adding to it, it's one smaller onion, I just roughly chopped it, one large handful of those cherry tomatoes, 6 cloves of garlic, and I just halved 2 carrots. So this goes in. And I also have quite a bit of those Idaho potatoes. Put those in here too. And seasoning. Here I am again with the stock cubes, but 1.5 beef stock cube. What you can do, you don't really need to worry too much about where you put stuff because this is gonna cook for a long time and it's just gonna do its job. I'm seasoning with some parsley flakes, about a teaspoon. And I also have some ground coriander here. If you don't like coriander, I know a lot of people don't like ground coriander, you can leave it out. Some pepper, depending how spicy you want it. If you want your wholemeal spicy, you can put some chili flakes in here as well. And I'm putting in some sage too. Now I will put about 1.5 liters of water and I will cook it for 4 hours on high because I want to eat this today, but if you want to have it for the next day or later on in the day, you can put it on low for 8 hours. So see you in 4 hours. So our crock pot is on and I'm thinking, I want to cook something else. So we have rice, so maybe rice on the side. I'm gonna cook a little bit more of it so we can use it tomorrow and make something from leftover rice. I also have a large, very thinly chopped onion. I wanted to release some flavors and make it like to be our base for our whatever I'm making. I have no idea what I'm making, but stick with me guys here. And I have some pork chunks, 1 bell pepper, 2 carrots, 3 garlic cloves, and some seasoning.
I washed off most of the starch from our rice and I put it to boil now. I just use a flat skillet and put this much water in it. Works every time.
I have all my ingredients chopped and ready to go. I just need to season this pork somehow. And I'm gonna put in some mushroom dark soy sauce. I got this soy sauce thinking it's not gonna be so strong, but it's really strong, you can really eat it on its own, like a lighter soy sauce. So I'm just using it to marinate stuff. I'm not gonna put too much because again, it's strong. So just this and like a teaspoon of sugar. I'm gonna let it sit for 10 minutes and we can start cooking. And we start by heating up some oil in the pan. To the pan, we can add the chopped onions. I will season them with a pinch of salt because it will help soften them sooner. And I will fry them on low heat for 10 minutes or so because I want them to get soft and not crispy, because we want them to fall apart and create the base of our sauce and not have chunks of onion in it. When you can see that your onions have softened, you can go ahead and add your chopped carrots and peppers. I will stir them slightly all together and I will cook it on low again until they get soft. It normally takes about 10 minutes. Just to generate more heat and use less oil, I will cover it with a lid. It actually took me about 15 minutes for the vegetables to get soft like this. I normally just stir them around to evaporate all the excess water that was in the pan. And I will push the vegetables on one side so we can have half of the pan free to add our meat. We can now add the pork in our pan and stir it around and saute it for a couple of minutes or just until you can see that the meat has started to cook. For seasoning, I'm using thyme, cumin, black pepper, parsley flakes, and salt. You want to now mix it all well together and saute it for a few minutes just so you can release some extra flavor from your seasoning and to bind all the ingredients together. Since our broth wasn't ready yet, I just added 1.5 cups of water and I will cover it and cook it for 1 hour. After 1 hour, your meat should be falling apart, cooked really well. The sauce should be nice and glossy, but it kind of wasn't thick enough still, so I added some cornstarch slurry to it. This, guys, was absolutely delicious. I although kind of missed a little bit of spiciness here, so if you're gonna go ahead and do this, I would recommend to add some chili flakes or some bird's eye chilies to it. That would make it much, much better. See you in 4 hours. Or like, see you tomorrow. I got everything out of the crock pot this morning and I will roughly chop the carrots. I have my potatoes ready. I got 4 cups of pork broth out of it, which is great, but I need some thickness to it. So I decided to blend the onions, carrots, and the tomatoes from the broth so we can assemble it all together now. I'm adding the chopped carrots to hot oil now just to caramelize them a little bit and make them more sweet. Stir them for 2 minutes on really high heat just to get some chariness on them. And add your mixture of garlic, onion, and tomatoes. To this, we can add a small spoonful or a teaspoon of flour just to get some extra thickness to our stew. Go ahead and cook it for a couple of minutes. You want to lower the temperature now to simmer because if this goes on a really high heat, it might just start bubbling and go all over the place. I'm seasoning it with some paprika and I tried it and the stew wasn't quite salty enough. So I added half a beef stock cube as well, but you could also just add some salt. After you've combined it really well together, you can go ahead and add 4 cups of your broth. Stir it lightly and go ahead and add your cooked potatoes. This won't need to be cooked for a very long time, just so you can cook the flour in it and bind it all together. It's gonna take about 20 minutes because all of our ingredients are already pre-cooked. I served this meal with a slice of homemade bread and it was absolutely delightful. And that was it for today, but tomorrow I'm making 5 more recipes from the same ingredients, so don't forget to subscribe so you'll get notified when the next video comes on. See you next time.